Hey loves, welcome back. So today's video is a super quick eyeshadow look tutorial thing. Why can I never string a sentence together? Is this a blue eyeshadow look a classic blue? Because I wanted to use classic blue. And I know you're thinking, what? Why is she obsessed with classic blue? It's because it's the colour of the year, apparently. Pantone, every time I say that, I hear the word Pantene in my head, but it's definitely not Pantene, right? Towards the back end of the last year, Pantone released that the colour of the year for 2020 is classic blue. The colour of the year last year was living coral, and we saw coral everywhere. In makeup, in lipsticks and nails and accessories and clothes, coral kind of really showed up throughout the year and held its own. So there's a really high chance that blue, and in particular classic blue, is going to be a really strong colour throughout this year. So I thought I would try and incorporate some classic blue into a makeup look, and what better palette to use than the Jeffree Star Cosmetics Blue Blood. When I first got this, I got this recently, I opened it and, you know, I fell in love, obviously, because it's absolutely stunning, but also I was incredibly scared. There's a lot of blue, and I know it's called the Blue Blood, but there's a lot of blue in here. Blue in makeup can sometimes summon up visions of the 80s with frosted pink lips and bad blue eyeshadow. And I appreciate a lot of you are saying, what, your eyeshadow's bad now? What are you talking about? But I've tried my best. I tried my best to include some classic blue into a makeup look using this beautiful palette. If you enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. I've just closed my hand into the Blue Blood. Consider subscribing because I do stupid things all of the time. I'm going to stop waffling. So if you want to see how I did this makeup look, then keep watching.
Okay, so let's use the Blue Blood. Oh, so beautiful. We're starting off with the shade Wealthy. It's a really nice kind of creamy light colour, perfect base. I'm just applying this all over my eyelid, literally lash line to right underneath my brow using the Scott Barnes 61. Then I'm taking a blending brush and the shade Priceless. It's a step up from a cream. It's a really light nude colour, and I'm using that blending brush to buff it into the crease. Not much colour payoff, so I went in with the shade Celebrity Skin. This is like a cool toned nude taupe. I'm really rubbish, you know me, I'm really rubbish at sort of product descriptions and shade descriptions, but I'm using my Scott Barnes, what number is it? 62, which is a really nice taper brush. And again, I'm fluffing this in my crease and underneath my lower lash line as well, just slowly building up that colour as a transition shade. Next, I'm applying this beautiful blue matte shade called Blue Blood all over my eyelid. I grabbed like a smaller fluffy brush. In hindsight, it probably wasn't the best brush to apply this colour, but I'm just taking my time, slowly kind of packing on the colour and blending it as I go. I'm just trying to cover my whole eyelid, lash line to roughly my crease with that beautiful blue matte shade. Like I said, yeah, it takes a little bit of building up, but if you're patient, it builds up really, really beautifully. It was looking a little bit choppy and messy where I'd sort of built up that blue, so I took the shade Celebrity Skin again and that Scott Barnes kind of tapered brush and blended the edge, and then I went in with the Scott Barnes brush number 63. This is such a unique and different brush, and I'm using it with the shade Power, a really nice matte kind of navy blue, applying it to the outer V. So I'm sort of angling the brush outwards and upwards and then fluffing it inwards just to start to smoke out the eye look a little bit. Where I'd been kind of blending the edge, I noticed that I'd lost some of the blue intensity from the shade Blue Blood. So I just went back in and reapplied a little bit more of that. So this is a lot of kind of applying, blending, building and repeating. I think I'm probably trying to just use every single blue shade in this palette. So next I've used the shade Cremated, another nice dark matte blue shade, and a crease brush to just build up that outer V, just to bring some intensity to kind of the corner, the outside corner of my eye. I'm applying and blending as I go. And this is the point where I realised my side of my palette where I was tapping my brushes was a hot mess. So I wiped that clean before I got it everywhere. Then I grabbed a flat synthetic brush and the kind of metallic-y shade Ice Tray and applied this to the inner corner, kind of inner half of my eye. And then took that Scott Barnes brush, what number was it? Sorry, 61, should learn these, just to blend the edge so that there wasn't any harsh lines, and repeated the same on the other eyeball. back in with more blue blood. Obviously a favourite. I just really want to make sure that that blue is really nice and opaque and intense on my eyelid. Then I took my fingertip and the metallic glitter shade Ocean Ice, the most stunning colour. I didn't use an eye primer, totally my fault. And if I normally apply a glitter like this, I'd probably go with my Too Faced Glitter Glue Primer, pop a little bit on my lid over eyeshadow, and then pop a glitter shade on top so it really grips hold of it, and I didn't. So it didn't look as beautiful as it should, and that's totally my fault. Then I went in with, I don't even know how to say this shade, Kalinin? I don't know, that nice icy white one, and pop that in a corner, in a third of my eye, and then realised I had the most amount of fallout ever on my face, which actually required me to remove most of my makeup and put my foundation, concealer, bronzer, blush, highlight, the works back on. So lesson learned, if you're going to do an eye look with a palette like this, do it before the rest of your makeup. Okay, now my face is fixed and looking a tiny bit better. I'm doing the lower lash line, pencil brush in the shade Celebrity Skin first of all, then a funny little brush, I don't even know what this brush was, but it didn't work out as well as I'd hoped, and the shade Blue Blood, again underneath my lower lash line. And then, what shade is that? Cremated on another brush. How many brushes could I possibly use? I hated all of them actually. Another matte navy shade just to smoke out that lower lash line. Then I've taken more of that really beautiful icy white shade, kind of a blue toned white, inner corner, most stunning inner corner highlight, curling my lashes with my MAC eyelash curler, and then a few coats of my favourite mascara, the Ford Bad Ass. It's expensive, but it works, it's beautiful. Lining my lips with the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Lip Cheat. And then I went in with one of my favourite of lipsticks of all time. This is the Jeffree Star Velour liquid lipstick in the shade Mannequin. And then for some reason I decided to add a little bit of black liner to my waterline.
So there you go. There's the finished look. Kind of fun, right? I mean, it's not maybe an everyday look, a school run mum kind of look, but it's fun and it's a great way to inject some colour of the year into your style. If you've enjoyed this video and found it helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and consider hitting that subscribe button. It helps me out massively, and that way you won't miss any of my uploads. I've got loads of fun stuff planned for this year. They might not all feature classic blue, but we've got to give it a go, right? I don't even know who Pantone are. Why did they get to choose the colour blue? Why can't we ask someone else? Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your time. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will speak to you really soon. Take care, guys.